It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and we've got some history in this battle of AFL alumni. It's the Pats and the reigning Super Bowl champs, and it's all just ahead on Madden NFL 25.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Hi, everyone. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they enter play in this one. They've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Patriots, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Fall is in the air, and the NFL season is in full swing, and we're underway here in Week 4. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. So now here come the Patriots to take over on offense. And they'll be led out by their third-year quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of chopping any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. You talk about this Miami defense. They played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
And the big difference in the game, their ability to force turnovers. Multiple, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, the big difference in the game.
It was impressive. Now the question, can they duplicate it? An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Operating from the gun. Chambers steps away to his left. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaking up on the play. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. The Patriots send out their punter. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return, and it'll be Dolphin football. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. And they'll be led out by their quarterback now in his 3rd season in the league.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI.
Defense.
A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
Now a handoff up the middle. Sutton. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. A look there at his numbers on the ground a week ago. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. Line of scrimmage, the 43 on... Up the middle they go. It's Sutton, and he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. This defense for the Patriots, they were very strong in the win last week over the Giants.
Yeah, they only allowed 13 points, and you can poll all 32 coaches, and I guarantee you they'd say, we'll take that every single week. But let me think about that for a second. Maybe there'd be one contrarian that would say, give me 10.
And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. They go play action here on first down. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Now the try here for the extra point. And that makes it 7-0 Dolphins. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. So back onto the field come the Pats for their second drive. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Got a man. It's Brown. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Inside the 10, and he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. Still in the first quarter, but what a great start for them. I mean, they've controlled the airways, Charles, on both sides. They had the passing touchdown, then they intercept the pass of the other squad and take it back for another score.
Brandon, I know we have a ton of time left, but what an early backbreaker they just delivered. They're up early, and they appear to be totally dialed in. And that offense, they're forced to run right back out, still shaking up a bit, but feeling the pressure to put something on the scoreboard. They've got to be careful here.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Throwing after the interception, Chambers. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. When you look at this defense, they are number 2 in the NFL against the run right now, Charles.
They've established themselves pretty well throughout this season, but boy, what a competitive group of people. They do not like that ranking they have.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up third down. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick 6, and here he ends up on his backside.
And you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick 6, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. The Patriots send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the second time. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
Holding offense.
So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They'll send the tight end in motion left. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. Keeps himself upright. And incomplete. He had nowhere to... So he just tossed it away, but that brings up fourth. The Dolphins will send out the punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Now fair catch is called for and taken at the, we'll call it the 37-yard line. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. They'll start this drive out on the ground, and he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
2nd and 9 now. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Brown. Here is 3rd and 5. Back to throw. Chambers. And that is incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. So now the Dolphins set to take over on offense. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Going up top. This is caught at the 20. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great play there. With his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring. And another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big streak like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt. Off-play action. Chambers. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. It'll only be a loss of a couple, but the pressure gets home on 1st down. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. Operating from the gun. Chambers. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. So it's a gain of 12 there on the reception, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. $21-0 our score after one. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Patriots in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Chambers. It's complete. It's Gore. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. Off the play fake. Chambers. They'll roll him out right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Multiple players getting home there, and it's a loss of 2 on the sack. The offense on 3rd down, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7. Back to throw. Chambers. And that will be incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Of the Dolphins offense and their wideout getting set to go once more. And seemingly every time they've looked his way in this first half, it has resulted in a big play, as borne out by the numbers. Now Mitchell throwing to start the drive. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. That's caught. It's Cunningham. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphins shaken up on the play. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a handoff up the middle. Sutton. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They'll get 13 yards for the 2nd play in a row. In motion left here, one of their tight ends. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Mitchell. He finds his man. Complete. That's Wilkins. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. 3rd down and 1. Up the middle they go. It's Sutton. And he is going to have the Dolphins 1st down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard. Back to throw. Mitchell. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. They run with Cunningham. And a short gain here down to the 22. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Operating from the gun. Mitchell. Quick hitter here. It's complete. Only able to work it to the 20 after the nice broken tackle. Here comes 3rd down and 7. Looking to throw. Mitchell. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And the Dolphins are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. They go with Cunningham. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up.
They've been in the red zone 3 times in this game and have not scored a single point. Can they break through here on 2nd and goal? Escaping the pressure right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. A chance to really put this game out of reach. Here's 3rd and goal.
Operating from the gun. Mitchell, he finds his man, complete. That's Wilkins. They are able to get 9 yards out of that, but now it's 4th down. On now the Miami field goal unit. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is right there. It's good.
So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time.
And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but
you don't want to.
No, but hold on, let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Off play action. Chambers. He finds his man, complete. It's Cummings. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw. Chambers. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. On 1st down, Bailey, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Bailey. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Seventh play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Operating from the gun. Chambers. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. Now, that's something of a pick-me-up. The offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. They have been red hot, sometimes white hot here in this first half. They're just looking to add to that total right now.
And this has to serve as a reminder to myself, because so many times I get wrapped up in the play calling, how they've sequenced things, how it's run. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's still execution. Those guys out on the field, and right now they are locked in and really looking good.
They'll try to continue to be locked in here as we get ready to approach halftime. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. He finds his man, complete. That's Cunningham. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41.
2nd and 11 at the 41.
Looking to throw. Mitchell. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Patriots. Possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. Following the fumble recovery, Chambers. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Oh, nice defensive effort there, providing the hit as the ball got to the receiver, separates him from the catch, and normally he's a sure-handed target.
Now a 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun. Chambers over the middle, complete. That's Cummings. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. He's got his target. That's complete. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Back to throw again. This will be caught once again by Brown. The final shot before break. Chambers. And this is caught. It's Brown. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. And we'll jump right over halftime and keep the game going here in Week 4. Second half kickoff ready to go. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Dolphins offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Mitchell now throwing to start the drive. And he goes down. It's a Patriots sack. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on 1st down to set him back on 2nd.
No question that was needed by the defense because they're already trailing by a couple of scores. They had to get off the field without allowing another one. That sack on the first play, that may have derailed this drive.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. They've done a good job on these receivers, pretty much held them in check. They're a little too close for comfort.
And you're always looking for a play to get you going, right? You're looking for someone to make one. But maybe this penalty, this pass interference call, that can help shake them loose.
Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
2 yards to go, 2nd down. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Sutton, and he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. And now a pause. It looks like we have a Patriot injured on the play. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Operating from the gun. Mitchell got a man open. It's Sutton. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. They'll try and run for it. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. A great effort there. His 7th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. A try here for the extra point. And that'll increase their lead to 28. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. So here are the Patriots now. They get ready for their first possession of half number 2. Throwing to start the drive. Chambers. He finds his man. Complete. That's Beal. He'll be hit down at the 33. 5 yards on the play. From the 33, here's 2nd and 5. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Bailey. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Chambers. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the 3rd quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn it into a play action, and throw one deep.
To throw is Mitchell. Off the play fake. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. So possession goes. on the punt, and the Patriots take over. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back there and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run. But the
rush coming, and he's taken down. They push him back 8 yards that time on second down. So here's a 3rd and 14. Operating from the gun, Chambers. He's going to air one out. It's caught at the 10. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Patriots are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it's finished off by a Pats touchdown. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Miami's offense set and ready to go. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. That good for 22 and a first down. They just look like they're having fun out there. Big lead. There's another big play on the big run. I mean, they can't be stopped.
I'm a little bit older than you, as you well know, partner, and you tend to tell me that all the time. But there used to be a big-time song, and the lyric was, "Summertime and the living is easy." Right now, it's football time, and the running is easy for this crew.
They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
3rd and 4. Looking to throw. Mitchell. He finds his man, complete. It's Cunningham. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4. Again, he'll drop to throw. Being chased out, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left. Back to throw. Mitchell. Going right side here, and that's complete. Now he's loose again, and he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. 43 yards. And the Dolphins add 6 to their lead. So another touchdown there, and even though we're still just here in the 3rd quarter, kind of hard now to see them giving up this lead.
And this is just an offense that's imposing its will right now. You name it, they're able to do it. If you're the play caller, whatever you want to select is there. You want to run it, you want to throw it, pick a play, any play. They're rocking and rolling right now.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll increase their lead to 28. The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Another go-around now for the Patriot offense. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Up the middle they go. Bailey. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. And now a pause. It looks like we have a Patriot injured on the play. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Looking to throw. Chambers. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain, or make people...
Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. And the Dolphins are going to take possession here at their own 33. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Throwing to start the drive. Mitchell. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Wilkins. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. The numbers throwing the ball have been... He's up over 300 yards now for the game. From the 41, here's 2nd and 2. Here's Cunningham. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Right back to him on first down. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Again, Cunningham here on the ground. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. And this offense on third down today, 5 out of 9 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Cunningham, a gain of 2, just like we saw on 1st and 2nd down as well. Deuce is wild.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. The Patriots offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. In motion, the tight end. Back to throw. Chambers. Over the middle here to Brown. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And the throw there going to be incomplete. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. So this offense able to convert on 4th, and now a fresh set of downs here. 1st and 10. They'll look to throw again. Throw out wide is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 34-yard line. Operating from the gun, Chambers forced out to his left. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple. Oh, design run for their wideout. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
They'll run on first down. It's Bailey. And a short gain here down to the 22. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Bailey. And he'll get this down close to a first down at about the Dolphins' 15-yard line. 52 yards rushing for him now to this point. 3rd and 3. In motion comes the tight end left. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. That is caught. And the Patriots are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Brown. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end. Take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. On 2nd down, they'll try and run the counter. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 3rd and goal, trying to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable. Looking to throw. Chambers in trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. And that sack brings up 4th and goal, a loss of 7. Big play.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty.
And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point right down the middle, and that'll cut the lead back down to 21. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Dolphins are going to recover, and that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Cunningham. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
Throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. New England's offense set to go. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Wide open receiver complete. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Operating from the gun, Chambers. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. From the gun on third down, Chambers. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, that play was certainly a little bit different because on the previous play, he was sacked. This time, protection a lot better. Had time to survey the field and still couldn't find an open receiver.
On fourth down, Chambers. And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now third and long. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Dolphins, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, for New England, they'll drop down to 1-3, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.